So I'd like to begin with a question, which is, can digital technology give you the same feeling that a book can? It's that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's hard to explain, but I can definitely feel it. It's emotional and it's psychological. It's the physical example of human connection. Human connection is really important for me. It's about being fully understood, truly accepted, to love and to be loved in return. However, the word connection in the modern world is more associated with digital technology. Cables, computers, internet, mobile phones and social media. The world is currently striving for digital connection at the cost of human connection. We're in a super connected age, yet 45% of the UK population say that they feel lonely often. Clinical depression has risen 20% in the last 20 years. Surely, in an age where we know so much about what's good for our health, digital connection should enhance our human connections. What is connection, though? Connection is a relationship between a person or thing which are linked and associated with someone or something else, or people with whom have a social or professional contact, or to whom someone is related, especially those with influence. So relationship, linked, and influence. What's digital? Digital is a series of signals represented by zeros and ones, typically represented by a physical value quantity. Well, how can connection, or love, be represented by a series of zeros and ones, on or off? Surely it should be represented by an analog signal, fluctuating just as our human emotions do, or better still, an image or a symbol. But what about me? Why am I interested, and where did my exploration begin with connection? In August 2020, I began to see a therapist. I was experiencing thoughts and feelings that were quite uncomfortable and challenging. At first, I didn't tell anyone, because I didn't want people to think I was weird. I didn't want people to think there was something wrong with me. It was whilst there that my therapist introduced me to something new, the 6 human needs. Certainty that we can avoid pain and gain pleasure and happiness in life, or in most of our cases, if it's a Monday, we're going to work. Uncertainty or variety, the need for something new, and new stimulus, the unknown, or am I going to forget what I was going to say next? Next we have significance, our feeling of being important, or as we all know, a valued member of a team. Connection and love, that close union you have with someone or something, the crest of a wave you ride when you're with someone that really gets you and really understands you. Growth, expanding our knowledge, ultimately learning something new. And contribution, how we help and support others, provide a sense of service, how we communicate and act towards others around us. At first, I didn't understand how these affected my life. So I began to sit down. I thought about them, and one stood out more than the other, which was connection and love. While sitting down, I continued to journal. I've done it for quite a few years now. It's a good way for me to rationalise my thoughts and feelings. It's a coping mechanism. However, on this occasion, it wasn't quite good enough. So I thought about my connections. I thought about my relationships. By now it's mid-November, and I've had 2 very similar conversations, but also rather different. It was similar because I decided to tell 2 of my very best friends everything, the real reason why I was going to therapy. Different because one happened whilst out on a walk, and the other happened by a test, digital technology. The first was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Hang on, go back, there we go. First was one of the hardest things I've ever done, conjuring up all kinds of physical and emotional sensations. The second was a lot easier to write, then came the anxiety of waiting for the replies. But the replies were what both had in common, honest, sincere. My friends had truly accepted me. I'd worried for so long about what people might have thought by telling them my story. But in being kind, open, and having difficult conversations, I like to think I found connection, both in person and by digital technology. The only real difference, one of them ended with a real hug. The other one didn't. My friends had truly accepted me and I found connection. Let's be honest, we are in a connected age. 96% of the UK population in 2020 had an internet connection. Between 2012 and 2020, smartphone usage rose from 48% to 90%. In April 2020, 46% of people were working from home, with 86% of those as a direct result of coronavirus. No office, no face-to-face meetings, just Microsoft, I'm sorry, there's a glitch, Teams. So we can't argue that we're in a connected age, but how well are you using that technology? This is where you come in. So I'd like everyone to stand up if you have a smartphone. Please remain standing if you have the phone number of somebody else in this room. Okay. Please remain standing if you have called a person in this room in the last 7 days. Oh, we've still got a few left. Okay. If you call that person in the last 7 days to arrange to meet them. Okay, we only have a handful standing. Thank you. You can all take a seat now. So, over half of you in this room have not called someone in the last 7 days. Why not? We have these fantastic devices in our pockets with so much power and potential, but we're not using them properly. And that's probably down to social media. Social media is everywhere. It's part of the reason why we're so digitally connected. So whilst over half of you haven't called someone in the last 7 days, I wonder how many of you have scrolled through potentially hundreds of people on social media before you've even left your bedroom. How many of you recognise these symbols? Of course you do. These are the things that you tap on every day whilst eating a meal or stroking the dog or going for a walk. How many of you recognise these two symbols? Simply a phone call and a text message. Which applications you use more of? Social media or the ones that give you the opportunity to directly contact and connect with someone personally? See, social media is not bad, it's just how we use it. And the key is in the name, social. Be social, communicate, stop infinity scrolling, stop double tapping and leave a comment. That's not a comment, that's an emoji. So I'd like to share with you an experience from my own Instagram. So what you're looking at here is a photograph from a plane window across the wing, and there's a sunset in the horizon. It's taken by one of my friends. So I commented, pretty big sky, enjoy your trip, where you're off to. The reply I got was this. Lengthy, articulate, full of detail and emotion. I could simply have double tapped and moved on, but I didn't. Taking a moment, writing a question, I'd like to think, even though my buddy was thousands of miles away, we connected, digitally. So, my digital dream is not revolutionary, it's quite simple. To use the current technology we have to better connect on a human level. So I'd like to share with you a few tips and challenges. Choose direct contact over social media. The next time your thumb's hovering over Twitter or TikTok, can you instead choose a personal option, a text message or a phone call? Voice messages are great. What we lose through text is tone of voice. A voice message is an opportunity to share sincerity or humour. Stop infinity scrolling. If you can scroll past 10 or more posts on your social media platform, they're not adding any value to your social media experience. So get rid of them, unfollow them, don't need them. Comment with words. The important part, words. Ask a question. Don't double tap, comment. The next time you're about to double tap, I challenge you, you can only double tap if you write a comment. Meet, talk and hug. Go for a coffee, go for a walk. Go for a walk and a coffee. Talk to your friend or your family member. More importantly, listen to them in return. When it's over, say thank you and give them a hug. Thank you's great. Thank you and a hug, in my opinion, it's better than great. So at the beginning, I asked the question, can digital technology give you the same feeling that a hug can? During this project, I asked my friends and family the same question. Answers varied from yes, it can give you the same endorphin spike, to no. It's a short-lasting emotion, and it doesn't have the same effect. I tend to agree with the latter. However, digital connection is really important because it can create a spark that can ignite human connection, if only for a short moment. It's about using that moment and acting on it. Be open, be kind, have those difficult conversations. We can't go back. We can't invent the technology we have. So let's use what we've got with the ambition to connect, reconnect our human experiences. Let's use our smart digital technology in a smarter human way.